Another day in our world, right? Another day. I was just blessed with a sweet soul coming by today and blessing me with his energy, and just getting an opportunity to spend time with people that I deeply care about and love. And this man is definitely one of those in my world. So when he catches this conscious coffee, yes, I love you. Thank you for popping by. Thank you. You know, there is so many people. I do count myself as one of the very blessed people out there to have so many amazing souls in my world, in my life, in my practice. The opportunities that I have to touch people's lives and to bring the attention back to what we really need to be focused in on is a blessing in itself. Funny, my 14-year-old son, who started a homeschool today for his school and everything, we went and picked up his Chromebook and all that kind of stuff, and he was logging in, and he said something to me. He's like, "Mom, my password for this," or no, not his password, his name, his online name for something is Blessed One. And he's like, everybody thinks that I named it this because I think that I'm all that. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with thinking that you're a blessed one. Like, we all should count ourselves blessed in different ways. If we were focusing in on our blessings a little bit more, there would be more gratitude in the world. And this is a really tough time to focus in on our blessings, is it not? It's really, really tough because there's people dying around us, all the reports. And being a Virgo, and guess what Virgos are great at? We are great at research. We are great at numbers. We are great at seeing patterns. And that's not just to say that that's a Virgo thing. It really is, though. A lot of Virgos are just that way. We're just very number oriented and can see patterns very easily. And that is kind of like, I can get trapped in the negativity that is out there. And I have definitely, in viewing and in looking at things and listening to different people, because everybody communicates with me. I have this awesome circle of people around me that is linked to a whole bunch of different areas in the world. So I hear all these reports that we're not hearing on the news, which then makes me go and research things. And then I get into my research mind, my science mind, and oh my God, the things that you can find within 15 minutes on Google. So I keep preaching to everybody. I'm like, take the freaking time to go and Google what is actually going on. Like, really look at what's going on. Go to the CDC and look at the actual numbers. Look at how we spiked and now how we're coming down, how we're dropping. Don't take my word for it. Don't take the news's word for it. Go and actually look at the numbers. Get yourself some education. If everybody actually was educating themselves, guess what would happen? We would have some truth telling going on. There would be more awareness. And that is exactly what needs to happen right now. So we look out, I'm sitting here on my back patio. I've been working on different things. I went and bought a whole bunch of flowers yesterday. I'm going to post pictures later with my article because my focus is to bring beauty and growth into my world right now, which seems almost crazy because our world is in such disarray. But if we all focus on bringing in beauty and growth and in finding awareness and in finding truth, guess what would happen? We would have beauty, we would have growth, we would have expansion, we would have community, we would have connection, and guess what that would be? It would be healing. It would be extremely healing. So I encourage every single person who catches this live stream to go www.cdc.com and actually look at what's going on with the world statistics. Actually look at the numbers. Okay, I want you to look at the deaths. I want you to look at the average age of the deaths. I want you to look at the fatalities and how they are in the world. I want you to watch the numbers as to how we have increased and what we're at now, the percentage, the drop that has occurred. I want you to actually go to the CDC and look that stuff up. Okay, look that stuff up. I'm trying to be clean because I'm hoping that somebody shares this video so that more gets out there. So I'm going to not cuss during this video. FYI, Kendall's not cussing today. I hope I don't. let's pray that I don't cuss. But seriously, no. Like, just share that message right there. Hit the share button and tell everybody that you know to go to the CDC and look at the numbers. Tell everybody that you know to go to the Guardian, they're fantastic real life journalists going on over there. Like, their journaling is actually real. This is news that we need to hear. Go to the Guardian and read some of the stuff that's going on in the different states. Educate yourself about what's going on. The more people that get educated, the more we are going to come out of this. Because right now, right now what we are facing is that the next 60 to 90 days of our world, what the decisions that we are making right now can impact the next generation for their entire lifetime. The economy is going to potentially change, and not in a very fun way, for the whole next generation. But don't take my word for it, because I'm not stating those things, right? I'm telling you, go research it. Go be a Virgo for 5 minutes and research it. Research it. Look at it. Get out of the crazy land of fear and do the research yourself. Seriously, cdc.com. It's a really valuable website, okay? And look at all of the details on there, okay? Just do a little bit of research. Go to theguardian.com and do a little bit of research. Catch the news that's not being reported. Read some of that for what's actually going on in the world. Then start to make your own mature decisions, not based in fear, but based on awareness. Okay, this is not a Democratic thing. This is not a Republican thing. This is not a European thing, a Chinese thing, an American thing. It's not anything. We are really, truly, the message that I do want to state here is that we really are being brought together as a world community right now. The world community. We have done so great at separation that now we are actually separating ourselves. And what is that doing? As the world, we are separating ourselves, and this is actually bringing together some sort of community aspect, because we are now pushing through stuff that we've never had to deal with as a world before, right? So there is a unity forming, and at the same time a separation forming. The light and the dark of everything, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to start to research. I want you to start to make decisions for yourself. I want you to gain awareness for yourself. But that's going to actually mean that you have to give enough of a ass rear end to go out there and do it, to take the 10-15 minutes to do that. So if you're sitting at home and you're on Netflix, or you're sitting at home and you've been put into work mode at home and you find yourself not taking those breaks, having more anxiety, having more stress, not knowing, like what is going to happen? Are we going to get funding from our governments to help the people? What businesses are shutting down? What's considered, a business that should stay up or open or not? Are we going to get pulled over for driving to the grocery store? Where are our rights? Where are our liberties? All that kind of stuff. Well, then go do the research. Educate yourself. Don't just take the word of media for it. Don't just take the word of the articles that you see flying through that people are sharing, or even from people like me that are just out there speaking their opinions and what they're learning and educating themselves on. Actually educate yourself. The only way you're ever going to know what's actually true and what you should be actually becoming aware of is by taking the 5 to 15 minutes to go and research. Because this is not just our lives. This is the lives of our children and our grandchildren that are being decided right now. Right now. So, for all of you parents out there, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of impact, what are the decisions of today really having on my child's well-being for their life? What are the decisions of today really having on my grandchildren's well-being for their lifetime? Because for the next 2 generations, the decisions that are coming out today in our world will impact them massively. Massively. So, let me bring it down just a little bit. As I was just sharing with different people. I was talking about some of the horrible tales, and I've been kind of preaching this long before it even came out. I said, as the pandemic happens, and as the panic happens, and as these shutdowns happen, and as we close ourselves off, and we cause this separation. And I know that we have cops now enforcing a 6-foot rule here in Texas, where people can't walk to closer than 6 feet apart without potentially getting in serious trouble. As somebody else shared a video from Central America where the officers are down on the beach and telling people to get off of the beach, that they can't walk on the beach to take their daily walk, and that they're being told to go home even though they don't have air conditioning and stuff, and that they're now being told to go home and that they have to stay inside their houses or just walk around their block or something, and they can't actually go to where it's cooler. How many people are going to die from heat, right? How many people are going to die from dehydration because of that? Okay? And then let's look at what's really going on in our world. What is really truly going on outside of my children fighting in the house right this very second? What's really going on is that there's a lot of abuse happening. A lot of abuse. There's a massive amount of abuse. I want you to really get logical about this. I want you to really become aware of the abuse that is occurring. I want you to look wherever you're at in the world, whatever state, whatever country you're in, whatever your city you are in. I want you to look at what the child abuse numbers are doing. I want you to look at what the domestic violence numbers are doing. I want you to look and see if under the mandates that are coming, are the jails going to be kept open or closed? Okay? What's going to actually be going on? What is considered, really supposed to be important, and what is considered just that's not important? I know that I've heard a lot of reports about here in the United States where the police are being told to not interfere unless it's a felony. Wow. What does domestic violence fall underneath? Not a felony until some really bad stuff happens, right? Child abuse. Do you know that most children nothing can be done for the children until something drastic happens? And we're talking drastic, like serious, okay? So here we're all worried about this pandemic that's going around our world, right? With good reason. But what we're forgetting about is our neighbors and our houses and our friends and our families. This stuff was here before. This epidemic was here before. Violence has been here forever, right? Well, now we have spiked it. It is growing at massive levels. And what? Nobody wants to do anything about it. How many people are going to die from domestic violence in the next 60 days? How many children are going to severely end up hurt, in a vegetable state, or dead because of child abuse? Or because of neglect? How many more cases of homeless are we going to have because of this pandemic? How many people have more than $2,000 in their savings that believe that they can survive without income for the next 60 to 90 days? And if they don't have enough to survive for the next 60 to 90 days, what does that mean? Those are the questions that need to be asked. And we're looking for government to save our butts. We're looking for government to save our butts on it. We're looking for everybody else to tell us what to do and what is right. And we're not even doing our own research. We're not getting logical about it. Instead, we're vegging out on Netflix. We're drinking more alcohol. We're eating more crappy foods. And we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs in panic over the COVID-19, right? Now, we should worry about COVID-19. It's serious. It's real. It is really, truly not a good thing. Trash. Hold on. It's a drinking time. Drink your water. But I do ask you to do the research and ask yourself, is your own panic, is your own stress, is your own just basically burying your head in the sand or covering your eyes and trying to pretend that this isn't happening? Is it worth your children or your grandchildren and your grandchildren's futures and the economy of our world? Is it truly worth their lives? And what do you foresee as the best, get an opinion. Really, truly. This is not a bad time to have an opinion. Our beautiful nation here in the United States has definitely been built on people having the opinion that people should have opinions and should have rights and should be able to speak their truth and should be able to, state that and have differences, and that's okay. And that is okay. And that's what brings about a beautiful community. And yes, we need to have these discussions, and we're avoiding the discussions. We're avoiding it with games. We're avoiding it with TV. We're avoiding it with alcohol. We're avoiding it with abuse. Don't just sit to the side. This is not a time where we need to just sit to the side and go, yeah, what's happening next door doesn't matter. I hear that woman screaming and it doesn't matter. I see that child starving and it doesn't matter. I see all those bruises. I hear all those cries and it doesn't matter. Yet I know People are scared to help. People are terrified to help each other right now. People are terrified to walk alongside each other on the street. They're definitely terrified to help each other right now. And today, this beautiful soul brings me some necessities, because he knew that I was running low on a couple things. And we greeted each other with a hug and a smile, and it's a beautiful day out. And you know what? It felt good. It felt good to be cared for. It felt good to care. It felt good to have a connection. It felt good to know that somebody wanted to assist, to help, and to help me, to help others. That's humanness. That's compassion. That's love. And there's gratitude that forms from that. It's hard to find gratitude in these times of fear, these times of panic. It's really, really hard to find gratitude. It's really hard to find beauty. I went out and I did all this planting yesterday and bought a whole bunch of plants, and we're working on a garden and, planting bulbs. And my whole focus has been beauty and growth over this week, and clearing out the things that aren't needed, clearing out the spaces. But you know what? In the midst of that, I also find myself dipping into the negative. I find myself really falling into the negative, into the fear, and into the numbers and the realities, and looking at it. And in truth, the reality is I'm not scared of the COVID-19 as much as I am scared of our world economy crashing and our children's well-being not being there. Our lives as we knew it just 2 weeks to 2 months ago, never existing again. It taking the next 100 years plus to recover, because it can take that long. Share your opinions. Share some of the research that you're finding. Take the time. Share in the comments if you're willing to go and take the 15 minutes to do a little bit of research. Share what you find on the CDC.com about the numbers, about the death toll, about the new cases, about the people who have survived. Start sharing that stuff because you're actually researching it. Get your words out there on that. Don't just take everything as it is that you're seeing that is coming through social media, on the news, on the radio. If you care, if you truly care, if you truly want something better, if you truly want healing for this planet, for humankind, then it's your job. It is your job to become aware. It is your job to start sharing truth and opinion. We don't have to agree. We don't have to get along on it. But the more people that share, the more people that do the research, even when we differ, that is at least conversation. That is connection. That is education. That is stimulus that needs to happen. It gets the right questions out there because it allows us to use these things. Instead of the fear controlling us, we start to actually think more logically, and we start to actually problem solve, because we're never going to solve this epidemic or the one that is coming that is far worse that we're already in, which is the economy crashing and the violence that is spiking. Those things are not going to get fixed as long as we are living in a state of fear. You do not solve anything from a state of fear. Nothing. Let me say it again. Nothing gets solved from fear. You have to get logical in this moment. You have to come at things from a different viewpoint. And education is your place. And guess what we live in? We live in a world of technology. We live in a place of knowledge. Knowledge is so accessible to each and every one of us. So why haven't you done your part? And if you think you have, do more. And if you think you have, do more. And then don't just shut up about it. Speak it, share it, and stay up on it. Keep educating yourself. Don't be scared to educate yourself. I can tell you what, being educated is far less scary than being uneducated, because at least you know what's going on. At least then you can start to see things a little bit clearer. And you can problem solve a heck of a lot better. It opens your mind. It opens your eyes. And it allows you to realize the truth. And the truth really does set us free. The truth really does set us free and heal us. So if you're worried about this world, if you're worried about your house, if you're worried about your community, your church, your state, your job, your children, your grandparents, your parents, your sisters, your brothers, your friends, or anything else, take it upon yourself right now to become more aware. And then from that, find the gratitude. I hope that your day is as beautiful as mine is. It is absolutely phenomenal outside. We have blue skies. The grass is green. There's a cool breeze blowing. It's a perfect day for a walk. It's a perfect day for a picnic. It's a perfect day for a hike. It's a perfect day for so much. How much of that can be done? A lot of it. We're camping inside. We're planting outside. We're catching the rays. There's lots of laughter, lots of joy, lots of connection, lots of gratitude, lots of community still happening. Make that a reality for you too. On that note, I am doing a free workshop on Saturday talking about the 10 plus safeguards for the coronavirus, how to keep your relationship, your health, and your wealth strong in this time of crisis. I'm going to be sharing some information with you guys, some education on how you can avoid some of the horrific things that are going on in our world. Some really cool ideas about how you can survive this crisis, this panic. What are the things that you can do for you and your family, your relationship, your wealth, your health, the things that should be concerning you the most right now? Well, let me share in this free workshop on Saturday some of those safeguards so that you cannot be one of those millions that are going to really truly be impacted by this pandemic. On other notes, look for group coaching to be coming out. I've been getting a lot of messages, people asking me if I'm going to be creating some group coaching, if I'm going to be doing group seminars online and everything. The answer is yes, yes, and more yes. I absolutely will be providing group coaching. We'll be providing seminars online for different workshops. If you have interest, if you have ideas, if you would like to share what your needs are, please message me about that. I would love to hear exactly what you want to see from me, what you need to be educated on, what you want to learn about while you are experiencing this world lockdown. Help me help you. And remember, stop existing. Get educated. Become aware. And start living. Because today is still the only day that you have to live. There is no guarantees for tomorrow, and yesterday's already gone. So do you want to make today a day of existing? A day of burying your head in the sand? A day of ignoring and fearing? Or do you want to make today a day of thriving, a day of possibility thinking, a day of really making your life great and connecting, laughter, joy, gratitude? It's your choice. What you focus on grows. And remember, I love you. I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Remember to share this message too, by the way. Hit the share button. Help me out here. I didn't cuss during the whole video. I really tried. Really, really seriously tried. So I didn't say one cuss word, so Facebook will let it all slide. I used the word COVID-19 in there, so Facebook will let it slide. So that it's all. I used CDC so that Facebook would let it slide. Yeah, we're being numbed out by different things. So realize I did that all on purpose. So help me be on purpose here. Hit the share button. I love you guys. Help me keep spreading the message. Catch you tomorrow.